It's a distinct honor and pleasure, really, to introduce our speaker tonight, Dr. Jorge Figueroa. Dr. Figueroa, as you may or may not know, is a 2000 graduate of our Masters in TESOL program. And he went away, and I didn't hear from him for about 6 or 7 years, and come to find out that he has become a superstar. In the meantime, he has gotten his Ph.D. at Capella University. He also works at Universidad del Este, which translates to University of the East, in the College of Social Science and Human Studies, and where he is assistant professor. And just talking to Jorge over the last couple of days, I've come to find out that's just a minor part of what he does. He has the confidence of his chancellor and his dean, and they put him to work on about 100 other projects. So what he's doing in the area of ESL is just one of the many things that he's capable of doing and involved in. So it's a distinct pleasure. I know we're in for a real treat because he is really at the forefront of using technology in the ESL classroom. So please join me in giving him a warm reception.
Hi. ¿Todos están bien? Very good. Happy to be here back home. All right. So, because the University of Findlay is my second home. Okay. It was the place where I came on the worst snowstorm in 80 years in January 8, 1999. The worst snowstorm, and I've never seen snow before. So you can imagine how that culture shock was for an ESL learner. All right, a person that comes all the way from a tiny island in the Caribbean to here in Northwest Ohio. So today I'm going to be presenting a project that we've been using in Universidad del Este. It's called Emerging Technologies in ESL Teaching. We're going to talk a little bit about technology, how can we integrate it into our classrooms, and we're going to have a little bit of, communication between us. I will ask you that any question should be asked at the end, please. So because we have a lot of slides here, and I would like to enjoy this presentation with you guys also. Okay, so you can write your questions at the end and enjoy this presentation. All right. The first thing is that if you want to access this presentation, I told Dr. Reed that we shouldn't be producing any material with paper because we're becoming, a paperless institution because that's what we want, we want a green campus. That's right, Dr. Reed. We want a green campus. So if you have an iPhone, if you have your computer here, if you have an iPad, anything that connects to the internet, this presentation is located in that website, tinyurl.com/Dr. J. Findlay. Okay? So you guys can copy that. You can get all this presentation. One of the things that this presentation will do is for all of you that are going to become teachers of English as a second language is give you power tools that will enhance your teaching. I didn't come here all the way to tell you how to teach. I didn't come here to tell you how to administer your classroom. That's your book. Okay? That is your book. I came here to give you power tools. Power tools for your teaching, to enhance your classroom, and to enjoy technology. All right? Being said that, okay, let's just move on to our presentation tonight. Okay? By the end of this presentation, you will be able to identify emerging technologies for your classroom, compare and contrast Web 2.0 technology with other technologies used in ESL. Evaluate different options for your classroom or unit incorporating emerging technologies, and incorporate emerging technologies into your teaching. So hopefully we'll get that at the end, all right? Yeah, one of the things is that for many years, we've heard about the use of technology in the ESL classroom. CALL, CAI, web-based, okay? But really, what about the applications? That's one thing that we need to think, okay, when we're using this type of, any type of technology. What software is the best? People tend to use Ellis, the Ellis software, for example, the Oxford Dictionary, for example, things like that, okay? Really, according to Ibarra and Green, computers can play an integral part in providing ELL students with valuable learning experiences as they learn a new language. That is a fact, okay? But we are using high-end packages all the time. Really, what we need to use is other stuff, okay? And that will be covered in our presentation. I know a lot of you guys know about this, on-site, because that's the typical ESL class in high school, in middle school, okay? People will buy any one of those packages, like Rosetta Stone, okay? The new Oxford Picture Dictionary, and now the Ellis software, which is run through the internet in a web-based form, okay? But on-site sites involve learning that takes place in the classroom or computer lab in a teacher-led whole group setting, okay? It is the typical ESL form that you will go with your students to the lab, they will sit down, and they will get that instruction, okay? These are the use of software designed for language learning. Most of us know about this type of software. Here in the institution, I think they use them in the IELP Center, okay, with Rosita Harper that runs that runs the multi-language lab, okay. There's also blended uses, okay, and in blended uses, the teacher, the professor, is not inside basically of the lab, okay. Students will come and go, okay. A supplement to the primary course curriculum and is used both within classes or labs and outside the classroom. And that is very important, the word supplement. Okay, how are we going to supplement? How are we going to support the class? Okay, these are called sometimes computer-mediated communication. Okay, and Chappell tells us that. In order for us to use blended learning or hybrid or mixed mode, there are many definitions about this. Hybrid, mixed mode, or blended. We definitely need a platform, okay? A platform like Blackboard, a platform like WebCT, any type of platform, an LMS, any learning management system, so we can use it and put all the information there, okay? We work with project-based web learning a lot. Some of you have worked with web quests, for example, okay? In here, the learners, they complete the tasks that are primary internet-based, okay? Primary internet-based, and may involve the use of email and word processing, okay? Now in project-based, you will go to a site, a typical site, just like ESL Today, or you could go to WebQuest, because it's a type of project-based learning where you're going to focus in inquiry and group work. And you can go either to englishclub.com or to sunal.com to find all this information, okay, and play web-based games. This is typical. This is typical of our ESL class, okay, where you move into these links, into these places on the web, and you work with it, okay? But this is not power. This is not power because that's there. It's already there. You're not building anything. And remember, as a teacher, as an ESL teacher, you're a facilitator. Remember that word all the time. All right? Then we have online learning, which is the type of instruction which is completely internet-based. Definitely we need an LMS for that also. Okay? The communication and the transmission of the course content will be all the time online. There's no affective domain, basically, okay, in here, okay? So the student is all the way out, okay, and you are all the way out also, okay? There's no form of communication other than the computer. So the affective domain goes a little bit, you know, we lost the affective domain, which is so necessary for TESOL, okay? In here, we're going to find that there are so many LMS known as Blackboard, WebCT, and Moodle, okay? And we're going to be working with them, okay, when we work with online learning. One example of online learning projects include English for All, USA Learns, and Learner Web. Okay? You will find those type of learning projects, of online learning projects, from different places, okay, in where you can go in, you can subscribe, you can get courses in ESL, in pronunciation, in different forms for you to adapt to ESL, okay, to get either your degree or stuff like that, okay? Yeah. Okay, the question here, now being said that, are we using emerging technologies? The answer is partially. Partially. Because really, we're not doing it at all. We're just going to the web or going to a high-end package and just following some instructions there. Am I right? Partially, we're doing that. We'll just follow what? The same rhythm. Let's take the kids to the classroom, now then to the lab. Let's just work. Let's go to some web quests. Let's go to Dave ESL Cafe. Let's go to EnglishClub.com. We need power. We are ESL teachers, okay? And we need that power, okay? We definitely use links, sites, and software. That is part of what we do. But we are not using all the advantages of emerging technologies, all those advantages. Remember that emerging technologies involve innovation, communication, and last generation systems, which is so important, okay? It's not only going to the lab, it's knowing what is inside of that lab. It's knowing which resources can I use in order to supplement that lab instruction, okay? With other things, okay? That students will enjoy, that they will like. Emerging technologies work like that. Communication, connections, everywhere, systems, phones, okay? We are in the era of communication. We need that, okay? Because we work through that transition. Some of you might not, but I still remember when I went to my phone and you see that modem over there? You will plug in that modem and the sound will go. Do you remember that? And then you're logged in and suddenly a phone call comes in and your phone goes down. So that happened. That happened. So we worked through that transition. Then we move into a faster connection. Some of us are there, but some of us went all the way into those modems that you have on the right where you can connect via satellite, okay, by providers, okay, which are fast capacity, and you can connect in here, in China, in South America, in the Dominican Republic, in Puerto Rico, okay, everywhere. So this is communication, this is connection. Below you see this on the left-hand side. Do you remember those computers? I remember those computers. No, you don't? You don't remember. If you see one of those computers, they're excellent for doing barbecues, okay? Let me tell you that. They're excellent for doing barbecues, okay? And then we had a transition to this, and now to this. From here to here. What a transition, eh? That we're living. Huh? But are we adapting stuff? What are we doing? Okay, now, emerging technologies. We're working with this stuff, or are we working on the clouds? What are we using? How are we using the products? How are we using the emerging technologies? That's the question that needs to be answered in order for us to empower our ESL instruction. The first thing that I always recommend, look around. Go to your classroom and look around your classroom. Definitely, you're going to find this. Definitely. At least in Puerto Rico, when I go to my classes, I see our students with either iPhones or with iPads, with e-readers, okay, with laptops, and they're always fighting about Android or Apple, what's better? That's right, apps, because we are in the war of the apps right now to facilitate the process, okay? So we are there. Every time that you walk into your classroom, if you're planning on using technology as the main resource, look around and see, because students know more than us with this technology. They are the key for us right now, okay? Remember, we work into a student-centered classroom, okay? They are the superstars. We're just the mentors, okay? The answer is the Web 2.0. That's the answer to work with this, okay? And these are web applications that will facilitate the learning, interactive information of sharing, interoperability, okay, using certain design. It is the evolution of traditional technologies into web applications focusing on the end user. And who are the end user? We are the end users. We're not programmers. We're not programmers. We are end users. So that is the answer to all our problems, okay? Yesterday I was in Dr. Reed's class, and I heard about how difficult it was for you to build a website right now these days. You had to do with HTML. Hello, hey, we're on the Web 2.0 era. There's no way we could build an HTML website if we can create a website for free that has embedded coding everywhere. Remember that word, embedded coding? Hey, you use it every time. Every time that you want to post something in Facebook or in MySpace, you go there and you copy the code and you put it in, and boom, magic happens. Magic happens, okay? Web 2.0 is an attitude, not a technology. How are you going to work with it? You are the one who's going to model it. You're the one who has the control here. The end user has the control, okay? The end user has the control. So for my experience, Web 2.0 is the key to emerging technologies in the classroom, okay? Because they are applications that move away from the traditional desktop. Yeah, you know, if I want a website, boom. I want to build this, boom. I want to do this, boom. I want to communicate, Skype. I want to do this, OBU. I want to do a PDF to Word, I go to Samsara. Huh? Stuff like that, but we don't know it. Sometimes we don't know it. That is why we need to have that power. Imagine, you know, you need to convert this document from PDF to Word, and then suddenly you go to the net, and then you need to purchase. Say, wow, I don't have that amount? Well, the Web 2.0 will help you with that. Or if you have to download a video, if you don't, you know, you just download it using the Web 2.0 on different sites, okay? One of the things is that this is a second generation of web-based communities and hosted services, such as social networking, sites, wikis, blogs, and folksonomies. For me, the word Web 2.0 means, okay, blogs, wikis, and podcasts in the classroom. Okay? Those three words. Blogs, wikis, and podcasts. O'Reilly gave us that graphic, and that is the graphic that really shows us the transition from Web 1.0 to Web 2.0. Specifically, let us see in here, in Web 1.0. I shared this morning this with Dr. Reed. Using the Web 1.0, we had to purchase Britannica online. Now, you go to Wikipedia. I'm not saying to use Wikipedia. As an academic, I don't support Wikipedia. But how easy it is to get what? To get knowledge, to get information these days by just going to those sites. Because in Wikipedia, which is the biggest wiki in the world, you create, you edit, and you link. In Britannica Online, you need to purchase, you need to pray, and you need to, oh my God. All right? And that's the truth, okay? Another example. When we were working with personal websites, in Web 1.0, if you wanted a personal website, you just go and hire what? A web developer. Hey, there's no need for that now. Now these days, everyone, instead of a personal website, everyone has a blog. See it? The blog, this blog, that blog, other blog. Every second, a blog is created. Every second a blog is created these days. Okay? And I'm not being a liar here. Every second a blog is being created. Okay? It's easy to work with. Okay? It's just the 1, 2, 3 step. The only thing that you do here, the most difficult thing to work with the Web 2.0 is to sign up. Just to fill up the form. Because that easy it is. Okay? But before we work with this, and before I gave you tools and power, definitely, where can I find all this information that Dr. J is giving me? Because he came all the way from Puerto Rico and he's just talking and talking and talking and talking and saying all this stuff. Where can I get all this information? The first step that you need to do in order for you to have power, go to the directories. Two that I recommend most. The first one, go to web20.net. You will find all the online tools that you need there. And the other one is listio.com. Okay? Listio.com. Let's see what that is. That is the go to Web 20. Let's say, for example, that you want to have something that has to do with PDF. Okay? Well, you have here the most popular tags. Okay? But if you go here to show all tags, and you know what tag means, you get all this. Okay? Very good. Those of you who like to be tutors, okay, be tutors, you can go here and have practice on e-learning, okay, with a place called Body School, for example, which is a platform. So you can try that. You can try many things, like Uduru, if you want to do online course authoring, okay, web-based, free, okay, explore this. In addition, let's say that you want to do something with PDF, and suddenly all these sites come in. PDF Escape, Comet Docs, an online file and data converter, fill any PDF. So you have everything in here. This gives you a lot of power. Excellent. Excellent resource for any one of you guys. Do you know about this site? No? Well, now you got power. See me out. All right? Look at that. You can help anyone by doing this. This is, such a huge instrument. Okay? Good. Okay, well, let's move on. Remember, go to web20.net and www.listio.com. Yeah. Most of the students use Web 2.0 technology, thanks in part to video streaming and social networks. I know everyone here has a Facebook, probably, okay? Or at least a Twitter or a MySpace, or definitely you go to YouTube, or definitely you have iTunes and you synchronize your info, okay, over iTunes. Well, that is what we're doing, integrating the students through these platforms. The same thing, okay? Now let's go to my proposal. This is what I'm proposing to you. I'm proposing you to integrate blogs, wikis, and podcasts to the ESL English course and keep promoting social networking and video streaming. Easy. You're going to combine the traditional classroom setting with Web 2.0 technology. And it works. I'm telling you, it works. Specifically with ESL students. What you see on the right, not only that handsome guy over there, you're also seeing a part of a blog. Okay, but what is a blog? Okay, a blog is a website where entries are commonly displayed in a chronological order. Many blogs provide commentary on news on a particular subject. Okay, sometimes you use it as a personal diary. Okay, one of the most important things that a typical blog contains is text, image. Okay, you can put videos on, web pages, and links inside of that blog. Okay. One of the most important things is the ability that readers have to read and comment. Read and comment. At the moment they do that, if you're doing this in an ESL classroom, you can see, you can track how they are commenting, you can access their writing. Okay? Why blogs? First of all, they engage students with native speakers. They're on the web. Second, they're good for assessing writing. Third, it lets instructor post and track homework. It definitely empowers students. And it integrates resources as links, okay? In our ESL classroom, how can we use it? First of all, as a journal or a diary, definitely. Instead of a reflexive thing that you're writing, reflexive journal, you can use your blog in a private setting as a reflexive journal. You can promote critical thinking. That guy that never speaks in the class, okay? That is his forum. Or that is always sitting on the back, having fun, okay? It opened the classroom walls, and it put classroom in capital C, okay? The classroom walls are open. You're on the web. Everyone can talk. You're happy to do that. It promotes process writing because the professor is there with you, monitoring you. There's no writing process here. Process writing, that's the key, where you are one-on-one with it. Okay? It shows the world, the wider world, what is happening. You could create language learning communities here, okay? Which is a great alternative. In order for you to create a blog, you can go to these three. These are the ones that I recommend. Blogger, which is part of the Google family, WordPress.com, or blog.com. Okay, but let us see what I'm talking about when we're building a blog. Okay, this is a blog, and if you can see, you can do a lot of stuff in a blog. You can integrate PowerPoint. You can put links in here. You can put video on. You can have links. You can have downloads. I just press this button. Okay? You can have all that, integrating all the things from where? From the Web 2.0. Over here, the important links, a podcast, articles, documents, everything. You can do everything. Okay? So this is just giving you an idea of what you can do with a blog. And it's in Blogger, and you just follow 1, 2, 3 steps, and then you're blogging. That's about it. And you use it. And this is a blog that I use at Penn State University for the use of computers in ESL. That's a course that I teach there. Okay? Okay, let's move on. Okay, what is a wiki? Wiki. Okay, well, a wiki comes from the Hawaiian word of wiki. That's right. Wiki is a Hawaiian word. Okay, it's a software that I use to easily create, edit, and link pages together. Okay, so when we work with wikis, we're working inside of a website. Okay, but the most important thing is that we create, we edit, and we link. Why wikis? The first thing is the most important thing. Because we're not web developers. We're not web design experts. But we know the content. And in a wiki, because content is the priority and not the design. Okay, so what you're going to put there is the most important thing. Forget about the design. You can have the prettiest wiki, but you need the content. And you are experts in the content. Okay, another thing, they're easy to read and follow. Okay, just go bottoms down. Huge page, very easy. You can combine video and audio in addition to text. You can use collaborative websites, and it definitely empowers communities also. Okay? And we use wikis in ESL for different collaborative projects, classroom projects, web pages. We integrate audio, video, text, files, and images. Okay? We use discussion boards, and we use it sometimes as online platforms, like a Plan B. If, for example, Blackboard goes down or WebCity goes down, I have everything inside of a wiki, okay? Which really opens my classroom a lot. Okay, let me show you a couple of wikis here of our students. Okay, first of all, this is a wiki for a class, okay? Look at it, it's all built. We integrate video, okay? We integrate video. You can integrate different resources in PDF, okay? You can have internal links, okay? The content is there if you want to do that, okay? Or if you want something better, this is one that one of my students, Mrs. Morales, did in the year 2007 and 2008. This is her wiki page for that time. And you can see there's a letter to parents. You're using your integrated Microsoft Word over there. You have different links to practice. You have video inside of it so people can clear doubts with the video. Okay, so you're integrating all this. Okay, this is an example also of a wiki used for classroom purposes. Okay, but let's say that we want to build a collaborative project together. Well, here's an example of a collaborative project from our students, tourism in Puerto Rico. You give the topic to the students, to the group of students, and instead of them working like that in the classroom setting, they're working online. Okay, looking for information, putting video, putting audio, doing that type of project, and you're monitoring them all the single time. Okay, but a wiki is simply as that. It's simple as that. That's what I'm showing you. Okay, video, everything just like this. Okay, the question is, where can you work with wikis? Well, definitely the page, the number one page is called Wikispaces. Wikispaces.com is a site mostly used by American universities. It includes Harvard, Duke, okay, Wake Forest. They're promoting it a lot because, like you saw, everything that I'm building is on Wikispaces. It gives you the opportunity to integrate all this Web 2.0, all these Web 2.0 applications inside of it, okay? And without you having a lot of trouble. It's just integrating. Okay, integrating. There's also one called pbwiki.com, and there's one called www.wiki.com. Those sites are just for wiki construction. Okay, for your wikis. Let's talk about podcasting, and definitely podcasting is a collection. It's a collection of digital media files. A lot of you do podcasting. Sometimes you don't know you're doing it, but you do podcasting. Every time that you download something into your machine, if you have an iPod, an iTouch, and you synchronize that into your iTunes, you're receiving what? Media. You're receiving songs, you're receiving information. But if you're subscribed to a podcast, you're going to hear what? The class. If you record the class, you're going to hear details about the class. You're going to hear what? Probably a radio show that the students have. You could be able to assess pronunciation. Okay? So, why podcasting? Because it uses voice to connect students. Now, these days, audio and video can be implemented. It's not only podcasting, it's now video casting. And you see it every time. Right now, these days, the download goes explicit. Okay? It bridges cultures and motivates students. Okay? Because you can do a lot of things here. Okay, you can do a lot of things here, okay? The benefits here for ESL, you can record classes. There's no excuse then if the student didn't went to the class. You can record class, you have your class recorded, you put it on your podcast, and then suddenly the student plugs into the web, and then the class is there. Whew, there's no excuse for missing class now. ¿Oyen? No. The students record episodes, okay? There's always an episode. It's good for assessing pronunciation. You could create short radio shows, okay? You could create short radio shows. It gives you flexibility and gives you playback. But that flexibility, I want to create something now, I could create it later. I want to download it now, okay? I want to download it later. I want to hear it now. I could stop. The synchronization of episodes. They're always 1, 2, 3. They're always synchronized, okay? To create a podcast, I know it sounds difficult, but really the Web 2.0 gives you these tools. which are magnificent, okay? Because probably if you don't know how to do it, you will have to record what? You have to record the audio, then you have to go to FeedBurner, then you have to do the RSS, and then you have to post it. I know I break your head right now, but if you go to Podomatic.com, for example, a site like Podomatic.com, it's just a 1, 2, 3 step. You open your account and you go a step by step from the episode 1 to either the audio and video, to the audio and video. If you have the file, you can upload the file, or you just can only record from your computer through here, okay? You can, at the end, you can always review and publish, okay? You save and continue, and when you click promote, this is what appears. And then students can subscribe to the feed, okay? To subscribe with iTunes. You can post all this into your blog, and students will be able to subscribe to it. Okay? What that means is that they will be able not only to subscribe, they will have, if they click here on Google, if they have a My Google page, everything will go to their homepage in My Google. So every time that you speak something, it's going to be there. I have students of mine that they graduated and they keep on receiving and receiving and receiving stuff from me because they haven't, logged out that system. Okay, so they're tired of Dr. J. Okay, okay, but I talk a lot about this stuff. Okay, and you might be thinking, okay, but he's saying so many things that they look wonderful. Ave María, ese puertorriqueño vino de allá abajo. But you know what? I got the proof that this stuff works. I got it. For those of you who are dubious or have a doubt about this, I'm going to show you the proof. How we know this works? That is my island. That's the island of Puerto Rico in the Caribbean. Universidad del Este in Santa Isabel is a branch campus of Universidad del Este, which is the main campus and is located in Carolina. But Universidad del Este in Santa Isabel is located in the south of Puerto Rico, a tiny town in the south of Puerto Rico. It offers undergraduate and graduate programs and has over 1,000 active students, okay? In that tiny place, okay? This island is 100 by 35 miles, okay? 100 by 35 miles. The students are mainly young adults from the cities of Santa Isabel, Salinas, and Coamo. This is what we call barrios, very poor areas. One of the most important things that the family background, low income, and limited education involved mostly are first generation students, the first people. The first time they go to the university, these are the students. So they have a generation that have never gone to school before. Their parents probably went to middle school, to high school. They never went to the university. Okay? With that is what we were working. The institution at that time, 2007, okay, presented a retention problem with the basic English and ESL courses. Students didn't want it, started and left the courses. They got bored. And in Puerto Rico, to get bored in an English course, you're going nuts because you know what? We receive formal education in the English language since we are in preschool. How you're going to go to the university and you're going to say, yo no sé inglés. Oye. How you're going to say that? No, that's impossible. Because you have 12 years of formal education. Probably you need some skills to develop, but you know that, okay? You know English, okay? The retention rate at that time, 64%. And everybody that works in higher education know that you are losing a lot of students if you have 60% of students in those classes. 64%. That is basically nothing. Like you started with 30 students and suddenly you have how many? 12, 10? In how many cohorts? Like 3 or 4 cohorts? No, you can permit that, mostly in basic general courses, which are the first courses that you take, because there's not going to be a carryover. Okay? Okay. So we did this. After integrating Web 2.0 to the basic ESL courses, the retention rate increased to 94% in 2008, and then we kept in 93% in 2009. We're expecting now new results in 2010, which we think we're going to exceed the 94% of 2007. Guys, this stuff works. And you saw the demographic of the people that was there. Low income, first generation students. Low income, first generation students. 64% to 94%. Así mismo me quedé yo. Just like that I stayed when I saw that. 94%. Using Web 2.0 works because they know how to use it. They enjoy it. You have a more active classroom. Okay? It's pragmatism. Learning by doing, having fun, integrating skills that they know how to. It's like, hey, this is like working with Facebook. This is like building something new. This is like recording myself. Hey, they do it very often. You see them? Recording with their phones and having fun and all that. It's just bringing that into the academics and having fun about it. Because if you're not having fun using technology, you're definitely going to have a hard time. And if you're not having fun in your ESL classroom, oof, that's hard. Okay? So after that success, it was decided to integrate Web 2.0 applications to all the general education courses, including Spanish and math. Okay? 85% of the professors from the School of Social Sciences and Human Studies are blogging. 85%. And let me tell you something. That is, for me, this is awesome because our professors, I'm like the youngest professor in our school or college, and they were opposed to working with technology. And we have people that have been in the system for 30 years doing their blogs, integrating wikis, using podcasting, because the flexibility it brings is completely different to the problems with Web 1.0, because Web 2.0 is end users' freedom. Okay? New technologies have been implemented, and training in Web 2.0 and open source software has become essential. Okay? So now we have a huge training about Web 2.0, and we're complementing every single time. We have more tutorials, we have meetings that have to do with not only with Web 2.0, but also with open source software. Okay, the question is, what are we implementing now? Web streaming. We're doing web streaming now. Okay? Why we're doing web streaming? Because we want to bring the real life, the video, the broadcasting into the internet. And it's so easy. The only thing that you need is just a video camera, is your computer, or your iPhone, your Android, and just broadcast. And then you just place it on the internet. So our students are creating internet channels using UNE-Stream or Livestream, for example. And they're communicating and putting those videos in YouTube, because all this Web 2.0 technologies with videos are linked. Okay? Because that's the most important thing. For example, UNE-Stream and Livestream are two applications that you can use on the web to start doing web streaming. But the magic about web streaming and having something in UNE-Stream is that you can create an archive of different programs. See? That's a program that I run in Puerto Rico called Paliqueando. We run it through web streaming. Okay? You see, let me take this aspect to ESL. Every time that you are going to record something in the classroom, it will be there, so the students can see it. So you can promote this. You can run all this through TeacherTube instead of YouTube if you don't want to. Okay? But you create an archive, okay? Un archivo. of videos over there, okay? You can do all this. You create your channel, you create all that. You know, look at this. All of this. See, I told you, with el excelentísimo Luis M. Valdivieso, embajador de Perú. Ahí está, conmigo, míralo ahí, míralo aquí. Aquí está en mi programa. Ya, se lo dije. Good. So let's move on. You're going to be overwhelmed. Okay, what also that we are doing? What new projects are we implementing? Well, definitely virtual mentoring and tutoring for ESL students. And what are we using? Well, we're using Skype and OVU. Okay, we can go one-on-one or have groups up to 6 people at one time. If you're using OVU, you go with 6 people at one time, a group of 6 people. That's good. Or if you go with Skype, you go with 4. Okay? What is good about all this? That you're one-on-one with the student or with a group of students, and you can provide online mentoring, online tutoring to the student. Or the teacher assistant can do it, okay? Or the tutor, okay? So we're implementing that also. Not only they have like tutoring in the school, but you have it online. Using what? Using technology that you frequently use every single day. You schedule your time with the tutor, then you are one-on-one with it, okay? Okay, what about cloud computing? Let me just show you. I don't know how many of you have experience with OVU or with Skype, but definitely, you know, Skype, you can do Skype everywhere, you know, from your computers up to your phones, and definitely you can do the same on OVU, okay? So they're easy to do. I don't know if you use them, but at least here with OVU, you can have up to 6 people at the same time. So you can have like mentoring 6 people or explaining the same thing or having like mini casts or mini classes. You know, that depends on your time, okay? Okay, let's talk a little bit about cloud computing. Okay. Okay, when we talk about cloud computing, we're thinking about, yeah, the clouds, definitely. But what power the cloud brings us right now? This is a new topic that is being covered now in emerging technologies, okay? It's frequently used with virtual disk drives. Virtual disk drive. How many of you have a virtual disk drive here? None? None? Yeah, you have one? Very good. Imagine this. This situation happens every time. You're bringing your hardware into here, or your flash. For some reason, it never's open. The clock starts ticking. You need to give a presentation. What I'm going to be doing. I have Dr. Reed ready for a presentation. It's going to give me a hard time. Oh my goodness, I have Dr. Harada over there. Oh my goodness, what she's going to be doing with me? I don't know. So basically, there's a chance if I have a backup plan, and my backup plan is in the clouds. If I'm using Box.net or Dropbox, okay? So I can have what? In Box.net, give me 5 gigabytes of free space. And I can link everything into my blogs, into my wikis, or I just can leave it like that, okay? If you go right now to the site that I gave you, tinyurl.com/Dr. J. Figueroa, you're gonna go straight to Box.net because I place it over there to do what? File sharing with you. One of the advantages about Box.net also is that the professor, you as the professor, can share at the same time with the student, okay, via online, and then you submit the work, the professor comes and correct the work or give you the feedback, then you don't have to submit only the final draft. That would be excellent because then you're not wasting paper. Huh? Green initiative. All right? Another cloud is Dropbox, okay? Dropbox.com. In here, it definitely serves with the same purpose, okay? The only thing that here you have only 2 gigabytes of space, okay? 2 gigabytes of space, Okay? For example, you go to box.net. Simple, secure, and sharing. You will have 5 gigabytes of space over here. Okay, and you can do that. Box.net. If you don't like Box.net, there's always room for Dropbox. Okay? There's always room for Dropbox. And how this works? Well, definitely, let's just show you one. Okay? You just do the most difficult thing here, which is to put your email. And you log in. And here it is. The backups. Look at that. I even have one for University of Findlay. Okay? So you can do what? You can share, you can download, you can copy, you can invite people to work inside of the folder. You can do everything. And you're working on the cloud. Okay? So, an advantage, another advantage. Okay? Good. Video engines. I don't have to talk a lot about video engines, but definitely there's one that not a lot of people know of or not a lot of people use, and that's TeacherTube. If you go into a school district, probably TeacherTube is the only vehicle that you have available because YouTube you won't be able to put it up for many reasons, but TeacherTube is your alternative. I invite you to create a TeacherTube channel and to start uploading videos over there, like tutorials, okay, that you can do, okay, or the information that you're going to be working in UNE-Stream, you can bring it up over there, okay? So TeacherTube is also a key. Those of you who like to do websites, I invite you to go to webnode.com or to wix.com. The only thing that you need to do is just open the account. You just open the account like this, create your own website for free, okay? And they give you everything. If you want to have the hosting and everything, okay, you could have a really nice website using Web 2.0 technology. I invite you to go there. You know, I'm telling you, I use this. It's pretty good. Okay. What about converters? There's a lot of things that need to be talked about converting stuff. And sometimes you, as a professional, you're like trying to change something from JPEG to bitmap. You can't. You're trying to convert from OpenOffice to Word, and you can't. PDF to Word, and you can't. Hey, there's a solution for your problems. It's called Samsara, or probably Comet Docs. And how they work, for example. Either Samsara, which is the one that I mostly recommend, or Comet Docs, okay? If you want to go with Samsara, for example, you have to build a test, and the test that you found on the internet is on PDF, and you want to do some editing to that text, to that test, hey, you need to bring it to Samsara so you can convert it, okay? So you can convert it. So Samsara works simply as this. Look at this. Step 1, browse. Look for what? Look for the file. Second step, choose the format to convert the file, okay? And look how many formats you have. Image, doc formats, music formats, video formats, ebook format. Is that power or not? And how you're going to reply all this to you? Email, convert, and it goes straight to your email. Oh, qué chévere. Very good, huh? Let's say that you want to download a video. A lot of people get crazy downloading videos from YouTube. I can't. They could go to Real Player, and Real Player can download them for them, but sometimes Real Player won't work. Well, the only thing you need to do is just put here the HTTP, that is where? In YouTube, in TeacherTube, in Hulu.com, put it there, and convert it into the format that you want to convert it, and it will be sent to you via email. Okay? Very good. And it sounds like easy like that, and it's easy like that. Let's say that your presentations you want to put action on your presentations. You have this really nice presentation, but you want to put it on your website, you want to convert it on Flash, you want to do something like that, where there are two sites that you can work those presentations on. One is AuthorStream, the other one is slideshare.net. I don't know if you observed, but when we were on my blog, there was a presentation over there. Let's go back. Really fast. Look at this. It's embedded. It's on a SlideShare. You can tweet it. You can share it on Facebook. Send it through email. You can download it. You can convert it to video also. Everything can be done in SlideShare when you have the most important thing, the slides. Then you can embed it into your site using embedded coding. That's about it. Okay? SlideShare is just like this. So if you've never been in SlideShare, this is the site, slideshare.net. Okay? And there's also AuthorStream. I'm just giving you these tools because they will definitely enhance your classroom. This is the Web 2.0. Okay? I told you I was going to give you tools that you're definitely going to be using. Okay? Let's say that you want to create a multimedia presentation. Well, definitely Animoto is the place to go. This is to kill all the slideshows. Animoto is the place to be. Okay? For example, you can create presentations just like the one that you're going to be seeing. Okay? Just like this. Short presentation. Let's just wait until it goes up. You can multimedia presentation. Imagine that with your students creating something that goes from top to bottom, bottoms up, you know. It gives you that action. Animoto, it gives you the opportunity to create all that. It gives you the opportunity to integrate music, integrate video, integrate images, okay, in 3D form. Okay, so you can do and adapt this into many formats. Okay, so if you want to work with multimedia, definitely Animoto is the place to go. Okay, once again, we're not web developers, we're not programmers, we're end users, and we need to use the power of Web 2.0. Okay, for ourselves. The Universidad del Este, that's my institution. Okay, enough of Superman. Very good. Okay. Okay, so we're ready to close here, but have ever you heard about open source software? It is necessary to work with open source software. Open source software is definitely the user's freedom to copy, execute, distribute, and change the application. Zero piracy. No pirates here. Instead of having an application, hey, there's for every program, for every software, there is an open source. For example, you know, if your students are on a limited budget, they have no money to purchase software. You, as a facilitator, you say, hey, you know what? Here's OpenOffice, for example. OpenOffice, yeah, OpenOffice. I said it correctly. OpenOffice instead of Microsoft Office. So you just go to the page, you show him the page, and tell them, hey, download this, which is exactly Microsoft Office. And then the student, at the moment of saving the file, has the option to save it in Word, in Impress, in Corel WordPerfect, in Lotus. You know, it gives you all that, okay? So we are providing our students with open source software. Like, for example, if the student comes to my classroom and tells me, hey, Dr. J, I don't have any software to work on. I can give you your presentation. Hey, I have an answer for you. Go to my blog. And in my blog, there's a link that you go there, touch, and you download OpenOffice. I wait for you tomorrow. Okay? Just simply as that. Hey, there's a problem. We are a solution because we are facilitators, Dr. Reed. You told me that the teacher is not a dictator. He's a facilitator. I'm just following what Dr. Reed taught me. You know? So we also work with Moodle. Those of you who like online learning, okay? Instead of working with Blackboard, okay, if you want to practice with an open source, the open source which is used widely, okay, the platform mostly used in everywhere except here is Moodle, and also Camp Studio, One of the things about this is that they are all free, no cost. Okay, the only problem with open source, there's no one to call. You have to go to the forums if you have a problem. Hey, I show you something, I give you a solution, but I'm telling you a limitation about open source software. Okay? That's a problem. But for example, there's a program, a software called Camp Studio. Camtasia. Camtasia costs a lot of money because you're going to be doing what? Tutorials, you can record your machine, go from site to site, pretty nice. But it costs a lot. Hey, I'm giving you the alternative of Camp Studio. Camtasia, Camp Studio, OpenOffice, Microsoft Office. Hey, you know, these hackers are there all the time telling you, hey, we're here. Okay? And of course, Moodle. Okay, let me show you a little bit here. OpenOffice.org, that's the place that you want to do. It's a multi-platform and multilingual office suite. So go for it, okay? Place it. You know, if you have Microsoft Office, that's fine, but just for you to see the product, see how it can work and how it can benefit your students. That's the bottom line. How can it benefit your students? Okay? Camp Studio. If you want to do tutorials, if you want to work with tutorials, download Camp Studio into your machine. It comes for Mac and for PC. Okay? When you use it, you have sound, and you can convert it also into AVI or SWF or Flash. Okay? So you can convert it in any of those two forms, which is pretty nice. And it has a clear sound. So you're going to be not only recording, okay, but also recording your voice, and you can also record the PIP. That means a small face of you in here. Okay? And of course, there's Moodle, and I'm going to give you 3 sites, for example. Those 3 sites are what is called free web hosting. Okay? With this type of sites right now, like Key2School, Genomio, or Global Classroom, you can create your own classes in Moodle. Okay? For example, I'm going to put it again up. Here's OpenOffice. Here is Camp Studio. And here is an example of Key2School. Moodle hosting by Key2School, completely free. Introduction to blogs, discovering the Web 2.0, a stellar e-learning academy. That's like a model that I have. So you see, it's just working with Moodle like that, so easy. You can find it, really easy to work with. Key2School right now is a project from India. Okay, this is a project from India. And what they say is that, hey, Moodle should be free for everyone because it's a free application. So they're giving us the tools to the end users to create, okay, our sites on the web using their platform. Okay? Right now, they're not accepting applications because they're renewing everything. But soon they're going to be accepting applications again. In contrast to Genomio, the site of Genomio that is here, the site of Genomio, you can go there, you can have a free unlimited learning site with administration privileges, that's what you want, or globalclassroom.us, okay? If you want to work with Moodle, some of you are used to working with Blackboard, WebCD, just go to the Moodle experience, okay? Just go to the Moodle experience and see how it works, okay? It's a really nice platform. It's the only platform created by educators. Hear that? Moodle is the only platform created by educators, okay? I want you to remember something, that we're living the battle of the apps. That's one. Two, we don't know what else is coming. Hey, you know what? We really don't know. We're watching we're watching 3D in our homes now, you know? 3D TVs. What else can come, you know? Second, we should be ready and use it in the classroom. Anything that comes, let's put it in the classroom. We have to deal with that instead of staying behind and waiting and waiting. No. Go ahead. Be pragmatic. Be constructivist. Go ahead. We need to hear the learners because they dominate the technology. You need to remember that. And you see there, Apple, Android, the tablets. That's what we got right now. And of course, Second Life, Web 3D. Many institutions are already there in Second Life. I don't know if this institution is moving there. But virtual reality is a fact. And Second Life is here to stay. So soon, you will have your own avatar taking courses or teaching courses. That's up to you, okay? And to conclude, we need to think a few things before we leave by the use of technology. Using technology, we need to think about copyright. Very important. We need to think about authorship. We need to think about identity. We need to think about ethics. We need to think about aesthetics, about rhetoric, about privacy. Privacy when we're working with technology. About commerce. Definitely. How commerce works. Governance. Very important. We need to think about that. We need to think about love. We need to think about family. We need to think about ourselves. Any questions? I'm ready for answering all your questions. Here I am. Any questions? Yes?
I'm a teacher, and in the classroom, we have Mimios that we're using, and we have smart boards in some of the rooms. And the idea of going online is a wonderful idea, but one of the problems with this, especially in elementary, junior high, is how do we secure that so that our students are the only ones that can use it, and it's their links to it's the links that come into their websites, and how can we secure that? I mean, is it?
Security is one of the things that we need to think, like I was saying. That has to do basically with the institution security, how it works. For example, let me give you an example. The School District of Philadelphia, they won't allow anything that has to do with Google, the Google family, to work with. For example, you won't be able to build a blog in Blogger because it is part of the Google family. You won't be able to go to YouTube. So what you have to do is just adapt to what your system is providing to you. For example, if you can work with blogs, you definitely could work with wikis because wikis are intended to be collaborative projects, okay? If you are not able to work with YouTube, you can work with TeacherTube. That definitely won't be restricted. But there's one thing, you say security, and security has to do a lot with how the district is running their security. Okay, sometimes you're not able to control the security because if it was, that would be easy for us to control what we want, But that's the bottom line.
So if I was to do something like with wikis or whatever, would it be only those students I designate that would be able to participate in that?
Definitely, if you work with wikis, like for example, you are the one who designate that information. Okay. You are the one, who are the ones who are going to collaborate. Okay? Any other question? Yes?
At one point, you had brought up about how the retention rate of students has increased.
Yes, sir.
I applaud you and everyone else who's a part of that. That's definitely successful. It's monumental in of itself. But my curiosity was piqued as I considered the ramifications on how the numbers increased. And I particularly cite my own desire to always be a part of new technology, and I'm on the same page with you. I'm always looking for new stuff, and even in my classrooms that I teach phys ed, I'm always trying to find different ways of using technology in the classroom, and I do. But my concern was the increase a result of the students being drawn towards the new technology, like it's a new cool thing to do, or was the lure more of the teachers utilizing the technology in a positive way? I mean, basically what I'm asking is, was it the cool factor, or was it the education factor that was making students stay?
Both.
Both.
Definitely. You need to have both. Cool for interesting. The other one, the education base that you want to pursue as a leader in that classroom. Because, you know, you won't have that retention rate if there's no leader. You won't have a retention rate like that if it was a board classroom. You know, okay? Any other question? No. No, yes. Yes, no. Okay. Okay, on a final note, there's my email. If you have any questions, you're free to send me an email, okay? I just want to thank you for everything. I want to thank the University of Findlay. Definitely go Oilers. And on a final note, like I told you, I came to this institution. I want to talk to you students. I came to this institution with a dream, just like you. Okay? I followed that dream. Okay? And one of the things that you need always to remember is that in that path, you're going to have mentors. Those mentors are essential for you. Don't think you know it at all, because you don't. You're going to have pitfalls. It's how you go up after that pitfall. And your mentors are there. And I'm so happy to have my mentors here with me. Dr. Fumiko Harada, Dr. Fleck, and Dr. Reed, and I just spoke with Dr. Irma Hansen. For me, it's an honor to be here giving this lecture to you. You still don't know how happy I am to share this knowledge with all of you, how happy I am to see that the TESOL program is still here, strong, and to see people that change my life. Because TESOL in here is a life-changing experience. You're going to be working with ESL students, LEP learners, okay? It's a life-changing experience. And I want you to take that like very seriously, okay? Because you need those mentors. You need mentors in life to succeed, okay? And here I learn so many simple things and so many complex things about not only teaching, not only student, about life. Findlay showed me that. And I'm here after 11 years. The only thing I regret, not coming before. Not coming before to home. So thank you, Dr. Reed. Thank you, Dr. Fleck. Thank you, Dr. Harada, for giving me the opportunity to be who I am right now. Arigato.